Hello and how yous doing and welcome back to Two Jagoffs. I am your host Austin Cairns and I'm joined here on Zoom with
Lucas Kins. It's Lucas Kins. Yeah.
and and welcome back to Two Jagoffs and I so obviously we were going to be on Zoom these next 3 weeks and I sent the Zoom link over to Lucas and it appears that Lucas isn't in his usual location for this episode. Are you driving right now?
Yeah. I'm quite a busy man, and you asked me during a very important time, and so yeah, I'd hop in my car to do this one, but it's all right. I'm good.
Gotcha. Okay, well, safe travels to wherever you're driving to, but
Thank you.
thank you for at least joining the Zoom call this week. We have a lot to cover. Last week, of course, was our NFL draft preview. This week is our NFL draft recap, and there's a lot to talk about with football because the draft was here in Pittsburgh. And I don't know about you, Lucas, but I was downtown all 3 days of the draft, so I definitely have some stories I would love to share with you on that. But I also want to get your opinion on some picks and stuff, so we're gonna get into that soon. Big shout out to the Bearcat Keith Hott for joining me in studio this past Sunday for Two Jagoffs. They were an amazing guest. Love Keith to death. They do a lot behind the scenes with 880 Wrestling. Of course, they've done IWC, they've done Rise, they've done Hybrid, they've done a lot of fun stuff. So big shout out to Keith for coming on. This Sunday's guest is the one and only Michael Sorg from the Wrestling Mayhem show. So it's going to be a lot of fun to have Sorg in studio. It's going to be like student and teacher kind of vibe. So very excited for that. There was also a promo last week. I don't know if you saw it or not, Lucas, and you don't have to look because you're driving right now, but there was a promo that I actually caught up with an old friend. I'll just leave it at that. I caught up with an old friend and he gave me some advice. I didn't really understand what he did at the very end. I don't know if I can exactly say it on Zoom, but I'm just going to leave it at that. So I feel a lot more confident this week. I feel a lot better. So I feel like there's some good vibes coming both of our ways this week, if you know what I mean.
Um, I haven't really looked at it. Man, like I could try to look at it right now, but like, it's a little risky to like watch while driving.
Uh,
I saw some ugly looking dude on my feed and just decided to scroll past it earlier. I'm gonna be honest. I think it was like Carl or whatever. So yeah, I just didn't really look.
well, it wasn't Carl. I actually got to meet up with my old friend Kevin Homa. So
No,
shout
no,
out to
you're mistaken. I told the story last week. Kevin's gone.
No, he was there. He was smoking something at the very end of that promo.
Yeah,
I smelled it.
Kevin doesn't smoke. Carl smokes.
I mean, maybe not. I mean, he didn't have a leader shirt on though, so or a gay enough shirt.
Well, I mean, it has like a huge hole in it, so like he probably was just like not wearing it at that time. But I'm telling you, bro, these AI bots are getting better. Dumb. You got to be careful with these clones, man. I mean, AI is pretty powerful these days, and I'm telling you, dude, Kevin's gone. All right, so.
Well, I had a conversation with him last week, but I'm just gonna leave it at that because we have a lot of draft stuff that I want to talk about. The NFL draft was in Pittsburgh. I want to give a big shout out to a few different people real quick for allowing me to do coverage on it, and then I'm gonna bounce things over to the Steelers, the resident Steelers fan of Two Jagoffs, that of course being Lucas Kuhns. Starting things off, thank you 99.1, thank you 104.9. Thank you, WPPJ, for the 2 day draft coverage, and big shout to Nate Shivens and Savannah iCatch for helping me out with those two programs. And big shout out to the UView crew, Matt, Jake, Brent, and Elena. You guys all did an incredible job putting that event together, and I was very proud to be on that show for 4 hours in studio. It was one of my favorites. I got to cover the Bears and the Browns. That was my two big stories I got to cover. And yes, I am wearing a Browns hat this week. I would say they had a really good draft. So shout out to the Cleveland Browns. My apologies, Lucas. I don't want to piss you off while you're driving. So eyes on the road. Eyes on the road.
Hmm?
Are you okay? Are you playing music right now?
No, I don't believe so. No.
Okay, good. Well, big shout out to all those guys for letting me do their programs and stuff like that. You guys are all the very, very best. With that being said, though, the Pittsburgh Steelers had a solid draft. I would say there were some questionable moves that they made, and I'm just gonna kind of leave it at this. The Maxi Honiger pick was clear as day a panic pick from the Pittsburgh Steelers. They wanted Mekhi Lemon, they wanted the receiver, but the Philadelphia Eagles jumped the gun and pretty much stole him from the Pittsburgh Steelers, which, I mean, do you really blame Philadelphia? I mean, this is a good situation to be in if you're them now because you're probably getting rid of A.J. Brown by the trade deadline. So it makes sense to draft another receiver to be your 1B to complement Devontae Smith, who is going to be your 1A. So I'm not mad at that move whatsoever. But Maxi Honiger, offensive tackle from Arizona State, was the call. He is not as experienced as some other tackles. He's not graded as high as some other tackles, but he did not give up a single sack during his time at Arizona State. So there are some positives and there are some negatives. I don't believe that was their worst move of the night, though. I think it was the Drew Aller pick. And that's something that I'm going to probably talk about all summer. It's probably something I'm going to talk about all of next NFL season. I don't think Drew Aller is the best fit for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Main reason why is A, Penn State sucked last year. They were god awful. There was no debating that. Yes, you could put the blame on mostly James Franklin, but they were god awful last year. And then now you have a guy in Will Howard who you wanted to kind of be the predecessor to Aaron Rodgers, who may or may not be coming back now all of a sudden. You want to trade Mason Rudolph, which probably is not going to happen. You're probably just going to end up cutting him anyway and have to eat that cap space. So I believe the Steelers quarterback situation is completely messed up right now, and I'm not too big of a fan of it. I do like the running back they got later from Navy. I think Bernard from Alabama is going to be a great skill player. But outside of that, if I had to give a grade on the Steelers, I'm giving them a D. I'm sorry. I said C minus last night. I think this was an awful draft, especially being in Pittsburgh for the Steelers. You barely filled positions you needed. You got a kick returner from Iowa. You don't need him. Yeah, oh cool. Another tight end is on this roster. I think there was so many other holes that Pittsburgh could have targeted in this draft, and they didn't. So I give them a D. That's just me.
I didn't think it was actually that bad of a draft. I feel like a lot of people are more on my side than your side, which is the right side. I think our round one pick, I don't think he's gonna be all that bad. Didn't give up a single sack. Pretty good stats, considering that he only played football for like 2 years. He's built like a beast. I actually think he has a great outcome. He's more of a project guy, but we have a new coach now, so he wants to work on his own players. He doesn't want to just have all these older players. And I think that's what a lot of these picks really were. A lot of these are his first players on his team. All the other players came from Tomlin's team. So I think a lot of these guys are honestly competition to see, if he should keep some of these older guys or if he should bring in his newer guys. And I wasn't a fan of some of the picks, but the more I think about it and the more I realize the Ashes competition, it's honestly not the worst case scenario. A lot of people wanted Mekhi Lemon. I didn't even want him going into this draft. I didn't think we need a receiver in the first round. I actually said I hope we don't get a receiver in the first round. The only reason we were going to pick him is because he fell and we were in the hometown, so we wanted to please the fans. But we got someone who's meant to actually help the team, not just please the fans, and probably be a drama queen in like the next 3 years, who's already getting drug tested before even playing his first NFL preseason game. So yeah, have fun with that, Philadelphia. His eyes were bloodshot red, by the way, and he was wearing sunglasses that you couldn't see through. So I'm actually pretty happy with it. Honestly, my biggest question mark is Drew Aller.
Yes.
He's very similar to Will Howard, honestly. So I think it's just competition to kind of see which one of these rookies has the better potential, because Mike McCarthy, he can actually work with people that don't have necessarily the best looking talent coming out. He's willing to work with and make these two project quarterbacks. And the inside reports have stated that a lot of Will Howard's throwing has been questionable at times in like workouts and some other games and stuff. Obviously his injury didn't help that at all, slowing down his progress a little bit. So Drew Aller was strictly competition. You got him in the third round. And I don't want to say we don't need to fill spots, because we do need to fill spots, but once again, it's a new coach. So I think the draft next year is more of his target. This year was kind of like a emergency filler kind of draft,
Mm-hmm.
I would say, to get the spots that he knows that we desperately need. Like we don't know if Broderick Jones is coming back, so we got a lineman in the first round. We were just finally starting to get a solid line that has depth, and now we might be losing some of that forever. So I actually think that we needed this. I know like the kick returner, we lost some special team guys. We need more people that can run the ball on that. Bringing in another running back, it's once again competition. You got him really late in the draft. Like you can't really go wrong with that kind of pick. He's just competing with Caleb Johnson. That's what he's brought in for. He's brought in to see if he can compete with Caleb Johnson, see which one's better. Caleb Johnson literally got benched after like 2 games last season and was never seen again. He got sent to the dungeons of Pittsburgh. So like a lot of this is just to see if McCarthy can get some guys that he prefers over Tomlin's guys.
Now, I do want to ask you this. I feel like this is a fair question. Who do you believe won the draft and who do you believe lost the draft?
See, I have two answers for who won, and I have like a definite one for who lost. I'd say who won the draft, if you're looking at face value, is the Jets. The Jets got the best players in the draft.
Mm,
If you're looking at what the teams actually needed, it's actually one of my rivals. It's probably the Browns. I think the Browns got
there
what
we
they
go.
needed the most.
Yeah,
They actually didn't draft a quarterback for once, which I was shocked by.
they did.
Um, hmm?
They did.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they drafted Green from Arkansas.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Someone at work told me they didn't draft a quarterback. So, well,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
getting
they
ready.
did. I forget what round it was. It was I'll let you know. I'm pulling it up right now actually. It was Taylon
Okay.
Green, 6th round from Arkansas.
Okay, so say it had to have been a last day pick because he talked to me after the second day and said they haven't drafted a quarterback yet. I'm shocked.
Yeah,
So,
and I'll actually tell you this real quick. I'm actually very happy that they drafted this quarterback because this is good competition for Shador, and he's an underrated kid. So I'm actually that out of all the quarterbacks they could have taken, this is probably the best one.
okay. Yeah, I mean, a 6 round quarterback can't really go wrong with that. It's not like they drafted him
Exactly.
in like the first like 3 or 4 rounds again.
Exactly.
Um, who lost the draft? I think it's Jacksonville, man. They didn't do nothing in this draft.
Ooh,
They didn't do nothing in this draft. I mean, it doesn't help that they didn't have a 1st round pick as well.
that's true.
You could also argue. I think this is just fans being tired of their system. A lot of Bills fans and Ravens fans are hating on their drafts. I heard a lot of Bills fans absolutely complaining after the first night, and I heard a lot of Ravens fans saying that they really did nothing. But I think Jacksonville had the worst draft in my opinion. I think Bills and Ravens are probably up there in the worst drafts, but I don't think they had the worst.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of similar with you. I have Browns winning the draft. That's actually why I'm wearing the Browns hat today, just because I believe Taylon Green is a great pick in the 6th round, bringing great competition for sure. But I mean, the receivers that you get, Denzel Boston and Casey Concepcion, I mean, back-to-back good receivers. You went from having Jerry Jeudy as your wide receiver room to Jerry Jeudy, Casey Concepcion, and Denzel Boston, all on the
I can't
same
wait to
roster.
can't wait to hear all these announcers trying to say Casey Conception.
Yeah, they're gonna say conception, and I'm gonna be like, no, it's conception. Like I had to make sure all the pronunciations were right. Like I'm very confident on the Steelers. It's Max Ihonicher. And the only reason why I know these names is because in UView where we're going over every name like multiple times just to make sure we didn't mess up on air. So I'm very happy with those. I fully agree with you on the Ravens losing the draft, in my opinion. And Buffalo's a good point too. I didn't even consider Jacksonville, but I'm not mad at that at all. The only reason why I say Baltimore is because they had so much potential to trade up and they had so much potential to get more receivers and some more depth players. And I just feel like they missed the mark. Like every time that like there was a best player that was coming up, it was like, what the hell are you doing? And I was also very disappointed that only one Pitt player got drafted. Only Kyle Lewis, who we were talking about last week. Kyle Lewis was the only one that got drafted out of Pitt and he went to Miami. So it's like, damn, every team passed on him. I believe he's going to be underrated, but that's just me. That's the Pitt bias showing right there. But I am I also mentioned this. I'm very happy with the Cardinals draft. I know a lot of people were asking me about that. Jeremiah Love was the best player in the draft, so it makes sense that you wouldn't want to pass them up at number 3. Obviously, Mendoza was going to the Raiders at number 1. The Jets needed to get depth, and I mean, what was it? David Bailey. You can't pass up on that guy right there. I mean, he's going to be a stud in the NFL. And then you go over to Jeremiah Love. And listen, Jeremiah Love is going to be one of the most versatile players that the Cardinals have had in years. I'm not saying let's hang the banner and we're going to the Super Bowl, we're going to the playoffs. No, they'll be lucky to win 5 games next year. But Arizona needs this kind of leadership in the locker room. And I said this on UView and I'll say it again. Larry Fitzgerald was the last real humble player that we can look at in Arizona's locker room and be like, yeah, this is a guy right here that's doing it for the people, that's doing it for the love of the game, that's doing it out of respect and honor for everybody else. The closest thing Arizona has had to that since then was DeAndre Hopkins. And Hopkins was only with us for a couple of years. So I love this move a lot. I think Jeremiah Love's going to elevate the offense. I don't agree with Adam Schefter in the claims that he made earlier this week, saying that Tyler Algier just got screwed out of another job. Tyler Algier wasn't coming to Arizona to be the starting running back. Tyler Algier was coming to Arizona to compete to be a starting running back. And yes, James Conner's coming back. Yes, you have Trey Benson. Yes, you have Tyler Algier. You're probably like, Austin, that is a loaded running back room. Isn't there other holes that needed to be filled? Yes, there are. But guess what? Arizona has time for that. They're not going to be good this year. They're a rebuilding franchise. They've been rebuilding, and they are going to continue that rebuild now that Kyler Murray is gone. This is a new head coach, a new offensive coordinator. New players are going to be cycling in and out. Don't be surprised if Connor and Benson is gone in the next 2 years. Don't be surprised if Connor is gone by the trade deadline. Tyler Algier was simply coming in for competition. Jeremiah Love, out of every running back rostered, is the only one that's probably going to be there in the next 5 years. Everybody else will probably either be gone or passing through the franchise. And let's not forget, Arizona, the main reason why they sucked last year was because they were on a seventh string running back. Seventh string. That's how bad the Arizona Cardinals were. They went through all four running backs rostered, and the three they got off the practice squad. That's how bad Arizona was in their running back depth last year. So I'm very happy with the Jeremiah Love pick. Carson Beck, I did not like at first, I will admit, but it's grown on me. You need to have a young quarterback. And honestly, in the third round, what was Arizona going to do? Who else did they really need at that point? They got their lineman, they got their running back, draft a quarterback, let him sit behind Brissett, who Brissett is a great quarterback to learn from. Yeah, he's not a starter, but I mean, Jacoby Brissett's a veteran. He's been in the league for years now. He's a Super Bowl champion. Have him learn from Jacoby Brissett, and then you can maybe take the reins and see where you go. And hell, Carson Beck, if he comes into that situation, Arizona has an underrated offense. You got a top three tight end in Trey McBride. You got a top 15 receiver in Marvin Harrison Jr. You got an underrated ass wide receiver in Michael Wilson. And you got a top five and a top three pick in Jeremiah Love. This offense is stacked. The offensive line has gotten better over the years. It's not the best, but it's gotten better. Arizona has a legit shot to win some games next year. Not make it anywhere far, not make it to the playoffs, but definitely contend with other teams. Like, don't be surprised if they split series with San Francisco, LA, and Seattle next year. That's all I'm trying to say. But outside of that, very happy with the Arizona draft room. Baltimore definitely lost. Buffalo definitely lost. I fully agree with you on that. Another team that I was a little disappointed by was actually the Patriots. I don't know about you. I was a little disappointed with some of the moves the Patriots made. I think they could have targeted some more offensive positions in that draft. I feel like they went defense a lot, which I know Mike Vrabel was kind of going for more defense this time around, but I don't know, man. That offense struggled in the Super Bowl against Seattle, so I would have loved to see them kind of get some more reinforcements for Drake May. They did, but like I was hoping they would go a little more offense centric, if that makes sense. But
I mean,
outside of
they got their zesty linemen.
that, shut up. My man hit the 2011 Bella Twins, like the spin around or whatever. Yeah, that's what he hit. Oh my goodness. But no, I think it was a solid draft overall. Pittsburgh, I like the one lineman that Pittsburgh got too. The
Or the
long
guy
haired.
with the long hair and the long beard and stuff.
Yeah, he's a Pittsburgher. He screams Pittsburgh football. So I'm very excited to see the way he plays. And I've learned my lesson from making.
I feel like there's gonna be a day where that guy's just like casually in Perman. He's like drinking a beer and getting like a burger like loaded with fries on it or something. He's
Yeah,
like the most like stereotypical looking Pittsburgher I've ever seen at Permani Bros.
I won't be surprised if I see him in Market Square. But no, shout out to the NFL draft for putting on a great draft in Pittsburgh. It was very welcoming. It was very well organized. I know small businesses tanked in certain areas because obviously certain road closures and certain exposures. I believe the media has fabricated some of the headlines that's going on right now. I hate that they're saying that no small businesses were represented because almost every vendor in the draft was a small business. There's a coffee shop from Washington County out from where you guys are at over in Bridgeville. There was like local joints actually represented there and people making money. There was an older Asian lady there actually like hand making like NFL merch and like selling them at one of the stands. So I don't like that narrative that they're pushing around saying that, oh, well, small businesses completely surged. No, small businesses in the South Side in the Strip District surged because roads were closed and people weren't going to those, and outsiders weren't making their way across the bridges because honestly, it wasn't really promoted that these other businesses were open. So, yeah, I agree. Small businesses tanked, but the fact that they're saying like that none of them thrived, that's a little bit of a lie, and I don't fully believe what the media is portraying with that. And I've actually spoken with some small businesses downtown, and a lot of them have said they have thrived over it. I wanted to make a big post on it, but I don't want to be called controversial because our podcast right now has already been controversial due to some business decisions that's been made recently. So I'm just going to leave it at
Someone
that.
made business decisions without me?
No, Lucas, I'm talking about your business decisions.
Oh, there's nothing controversial about mine. They all needed to happen.
All of them?
Yeah.
Well, since I'm
I
not in
can't
studio
honestly
this
think
week,
I honestly can't think of one that's gone wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I don't exactly appreciate you threatening KC Warren and Carl 2 weeks ago, so that's why I had to catch up with Carl last week. But or Kevin or Carl. Actually, I don't even know. I'm still
You just said it
confused.
was Carl, so I'm starting to think that we both agree that it's Carl.
Well, he said his name was Kevin and he's not Carl. So
I'm
I don't
telling
know.
you, AI is developing. AI is developing.
I guess it is. Well, was there anything else you wanted to cover regarding the NFL draft, or shall we move on? I actually do want to mention one thing real quick, if you don't mind. Let's
Okay.
go, Pens. Shout out to the Pens for coming back and having that victory against the Flyers. What an amazing turnaround for them. Very
Oh
impressed that
yeah,
game.
3-2, baby. Let's go. Go back to Philly, whoop some ass, and bring it back home.
Game 6, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Yes,
But
sir.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
that's pretty much all I really have regarding the NFL draft. I know that Lucas Kuhns is currently driving in his car right now, which, dude, that is so dangerous.
It's alright. I'm in traffic right now. Like I'm barely even moving.
All right. All right.
Robinson's a train wreck right now. I mean, it's yeah, it's like prime rush hour. So
It's prime rush hour.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you're all
Well,
right.
I'm all right. I'm
I feel
just
like you look more uh I guess like dead than I am sitting in this traffic in my car.
I've had a long week. I had to record Canadian Deathmatch on Sunday. The draft kicked my ass the last 3 days. And then it's finals as well. So finals are like all over the place right now. So yeah, we're just trying to get through. I'm glad that we're on Zoom this week. It's actually helping that we're not in studio. What are you doing? What?
Um
Did I just see something move in your back seat?
um how the fuck did you even
Lucas.
get my car? I'm in Robinson. I don't know where it came from. I heard the Undertaker's theme playing.
How you doing?
I'm in traffic right now. Oh damn. Right.
Why?
I I genuinely couldn't tell you.
Why is Mr. Jack Dean in your hi Jack? Is that Jack?
I mean, he has a cigar mask on and a banana shirt.
You got gloves on.
Like my gloves. They're way too big for me, but they're comfy.
He
Well,
said they're way
Jack,
too big for him, but they're comfy.
I guess Jack is making his 2026 debut on two Jagoffs, if you really think about it. Why do you look scared?
I I don't know how you got in my car.
You did not see him in your car. I should have known better when I saw like a
Did you
banana
did
shirt.
you see him in your car in my car?
I'm not in my car. I'm in my room.
I said my car.
Okay, I didn't see him in your car or my car.
Our car.
It's not my. No, it's your car.
Hey, speaking of car, I got a car though.
What are you doing here?
It's a PSA 9.
Congratulations on your PSA 9.
Wait, hold on, I'm trying to. Can you see the 9?
I see the 9.
It's a Dragonite V.
It's a Dragon IV.
Yeah, VMAX.
Okay, well,
Well, Jack's in my car.
yeah, I don't even know where to go now for this episode. I kind of ran
I
out.
don't even know either. Oh.
All right, well, as Jack does Jack things in the back seat of your car, shall we talk a little
You
wrestling?
might want to change. You might want to change up the wording for that a little bit.
Why?
As Jack does Jack things in the back of your car.
Jack does Jack things. Yes. How? What else does that mean?
Just sounds zesty.
Jack does Jack things in the back of your car. Oh, gotcha, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised with
Yeah.
you two. But anyway, as Lucas continues to drive and Mr. Jack Dean is in the back seat of his car, I will mention this. There are some one thing that I noticed recently on the independent scene in Pittsburgh wrestling has that I've been absent. My
Mm-hmm.
suspension has officially been lifted with 880 wrestling and with hybrid championship wrestling. I was suspended all of last week due to the fact that William Porter of hybrid championship wrestling suspended my broadcast colleague and I. On this podcast, I can't say his name, but it's the unannounced broadcast colleague and I. Uh,
Unnamed.
Unnamed. Yes, that's what I just said.
You said unannounced.
Oh, did I? Okay. Unnamed. Sorry, you are difficult. I wish I could just say his name.
No, that's not allowed.
All right. Well, the unnamed broadcast colleague of mine and I have both been suspended from 880 Wrestling's Pittsburgh versus Canada, which took place on April 25th. Are you being pulled over right now? Why is your hands up?
No, like, they're like on my wheel because I'm driving. You usually put your hands on the wheel to steer a car. I don't know how. I don't know. I know, like, I'm starting to think, like, I don't even know why you have a license because, like, like your muffler's falling off. You burned your finger on your muffler. Your car's broken down and
Burn your finger on your muffler.
because he touched the muffler after it was scraping on the ground and fell off.
This kid.
And Kevin has like 3 ornaments of your car getting towed away, and you're questioning on how I'm driving. I don't have a single one of those on my record. I think you also popped like 2 tires in 1 week. One of them wasn't even on your car, if I remember correctly.
Shut up. Shut up.
Bro's popping other people's tires.
Yeah, he popped like his mom's tire or something.
Shut up. Why are we talking about this?
Jack doesn't even know how he got out of my car. This guy just literally Undertakered into my car.
I like the car.
You like the car? Okay, thank you. Oh my God.
What?
Well, he just climbed out of the window on. He's grappling onto the side of the car.
I'm stuck.
Well, good thing we're only going
You're
about.
stuck?
We're going about 18 miles per hour right now.
What am I witnessing right now?
I'm back.
He's back.
Okay.
I heard a silly noise under the car. I needed to check it out.
You heard a silly noise. It better not be my muffler.
I found this guy. He's.
What is that thing?
I don't know. He was gnawing on the bottom of it. He looked kind of goofy.
Oh
He
my
was chewing on
Lord.
some things.
He was chewing? What was he chewing on? My muffler?
Maybe.
Well, okay. Well, anywho, I'm gonna
Austin would know a lot about what muffler looks like.
shut up, Jack. Anywho, I see that Zoom time constraints are saying that I have like 10 minutes left, so I'm gonna try and wrap up my last thoughts here before I pass it over to you guys, because knowing Lucas, he probably has something for me. Long story short, I will not be at 880 Wrestling over the next 3 weeks. I unfortunately will be. Fortunately, I will be graduating in 2 weeks, which I'm very excited for. I also have some award ceremonies that I will be attending this week, and then I'm booked doing some other sporting events and some other wrestling events over the next 3 weeks. So. I will not be returning to I will not be returning to 880 until May 22nd. So, yeah, I'm gonna be missing my 880 folks for about a month now. So sorry, guys, but we will be back sooner. We will be back better than ever. Lucas, you see the time, man. Do you have anything
I can
else?
see the time.
Yeah, it's funny. It says we have 8 minutes and 39 seconds before it yells at us. So we have 8 minutes to wrap up our thoughts.
Mine says a minute 33. I don't know. Mine says 8:33.
Okay, there we go.
It's
All right.
it's cut off. It's cut off.
Yeah, it's because you're on the phone. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right.
It'll take
Well,
a minute.
does Lucas have something for me this week or no?
Oh, Lucas does have something for you this week.
All right. Well, the floor is yours,
Hi,
Lucas
Lucas.
Kuhns.
Yeah, I'm Lucas.
Hi, Lucas. Nice to meet you.
You guys know it.
What?
What?
Nothing. Go.
Hey,
Um,
meeting a new person.
I gave a little sneak peek as to what it was gonna be last week, but I actually, considering I'm using my phone to join this call while on the road at this beautiful time of night / evening,
I got you.
Did I just watch attempted murder?
oh, he's gonna he's out the window. Oh.
And you consider him to be your friend?
I'm stuck.
You're stuck.
Hi.
Um.
What the fuck am I watching?
Oh. Oh, okay. Yep.
So you don't have a blind rankings or anything this week?
No, I do.
Okay, well, let's go.
All right. Well, Jack wanted to join us for the blind rankings, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we got 6 minutes.
Um,
So we got to wrap up because I have some stuff to say at the end.
all right. Well, I have a great one for you. Welcome back to another episode of Lucas Carries. I am your host, Lucas Kuhns, joined here with Mr. Jack Dean and that irrelevant guy on the other side of the screen.
Mhm.
So in today's episode of Blind Rankings, I have a blind ranking for you, Austin. Are you ready for this, Austin?
Yes.
All right. First up for you, we have A positive blood type.
Ooh.
No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
A
I don't
positive.
know blood types.
You don't like
Oh,
blood types?
No, I don't.
Why?
why not?
I'm not a doctor. Okay, well, here's a little background story on why Lucas Kuhns is actually doing this real quick. I was a motivational speaker for 7th and 8th graders earlier this week. And I went to Carlington and I talked to them during their PSSA state exams. And one of the fans in the audience decided to ask me what my blood type was. And I did not know what it was. So I don't know. 5,
All right. Next up for you, we got O negative.
4,
All right. Next up for you, we got B positive.
3,
A negative,
2,
and O negative.
1.
Do you want to change up your list and any which way?
No.
This guy's what? Do you have two pairs of sunglasses on?
No,
I don't even know if any of those are actually real, if you made up some of them.
they're all real.
They're all real.
Okay. Okay.
See, there's Jack. He said it's real. He's a pilot.
Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Jack Dean.
I can't wait to fly you one day.
Jack, I don't
We'll
know
have a
if
great
I
time.
would. Jack, would you wear your Sin Cara mask if you're flying?
I probably could if I wanted to.
We don't need any more aerial disasters, so I don't know if I would
I can
necessarily
look it up in the FAA guidebook, but I don't think there's anything against masks.
Lucas, do you not see what I'm looking at right now on Zoom?
He's in my car.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still don't know how he got here.
Is there something weird? I have a Looney Tunes pillow.
All right. Well,
Nice
first and foremost, thank you so much to the listeners of Two Jagoffs who have somehow tuned in and stayed this far into the episode. We kept the episode a little bit shorter this week just because obviously it was draft pre-recap stuff. Lucas and I both got finals going on as well, so we both are going to have to try and finagle with that. But there is one last message I would like to end off the podcast with, Lucas, and if that's okay with you. I don't exactly appreciate the disrespect that you showed towards last week to one of my good friends. So out of respect and out of love, I would like to give one big shout out to my guy, KC War, the Muay Thai maniac and the 880 wrestling hardcore champion. This guy right here, KC War, has done me so much over the last few weeks. So, Lucas, I know that you've been a little ticked off with him and with Kevin, Carl, whatever you want to call him. But if we talked about Kevin, it's only fair we talk about Casey as well. So thank you, Casey.
He sounds kind of lame.
That's what I'm saying. And you know what? You know, Austin,
What?
you're really just pissing me off lately. I got a promo to go film. Since Jack's here, Jack will be there for it. He's actually been my cameraman for this. I don't care what you're doing. I'm actually gonna turn this car around, go film my promo. Thank you guys so much for listening to my part of the episode. I don't really care about anything this guy said. It's all irrelevant because nothing matters except me, my guy, Mr. Jack Dean, who I don't even know how I got in my car. I mean, I heard Undertaker's theme and he just kind of appeared. And yeah, I gotta go. So I'll talk to you later, man.
Okay. I didn't expect that. I was supposed to do the promo this week, but I guess I did it last week with Kevin, so I'll let those two goofballs do whatever they want to do. I mean, what are they even gonna do anyway? I mean, let's be honest here. It's an Instagram TikTok promo, people. Come on now. They're not gonna do anything funny. But anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning into yet another episode of Two Jagoffs. Thank you for all the continued support. There may or may not be some changes going on this program over the next few weeks. I'm gonna have to get a hold of Lucas again because hopefully he doesn't do anything too dumb. I don't know. He said he has business decisions to make, so whatever that's supposed to mean. But thank you all so much for tuning into yet another episode. Don't forget to tune in to this Sunday's episode. Michael Sorg from the Wrestling Mayhem Show will be joining me. And then next week, we will be back on Zoom for our final week in a row. And then after that, we will be making our return to the Media Hub to end off the semester. So big shout out to, I guess, Mr. Jack Dean for randomly making an appearance multiple times. I swear over everything, I did not see him sitting in the back seat of that car. So I don't know where the hell he came from, but that's Mr. Jack Dean for you guys. I think that's actually his first time on camera on an episode, now that I think about it, because he did promos. Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, that's pretty cool. Anyway, shout out to Mr. Jack Dean for coming on. Lucas, fuck you, honestly. Go do whatever you gotta do. And thank you all so much. I'm Austin Cairns. I guess I'll see you guys all next week on Zoom. Peace.